Tag video. I was tagged a few weeks ago by Lars Antonsen, and finally have had a chance to record it. I'm not using my light because it came with no power cord, so hopefully the natural light from my kitchen here is going to be enough. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me pull up the questions because of course I didn't do that. Okay, the first question is, what got you into tarantulas? My dad is really cool, and he kept tarantulas in either high school or middle school, and when I was younger he started keeping again. He was in the army for some time, and then I'm guessing that my mother would not let him have them, or maybe he didn't think it was even worth asking, I don't know. And after they got divorced, he started keeping again. So I've had tarantulas in the house since I was probably 4 or 5 years old. So they've always been interesting to me. I've always enjoyed them. I've always had an interest in them. And then when I went to college, I didn't keep any. My dad still had, I think, one at home then. And we bought our house last year, actually almost exactly a year ago. And when we bought our house, the agreement between my boyfriend and I was that I could start keeping tarantulas again, and he could have whatever he wanted, whether it was a new gun, a new truck, whatever it was. So that was the agreement. So that's kind of how I started keeping tarantulas this time. What was your first tarantula? The first tarantula we had when I was a kid was a rose hair, I think. Most people's first tarantula. And then the first tarantula I ever bought for myself was at the time it was a Vicularia versicolor. Now it's Carabana versicolor. That didn't go very well. Should have done more research. Should have had better information available to me too. At that time there wasn't that much. The internet was not what it is today. Then it was about 10 years ago. So, and then when I started keeping again about a year ago, I got a green bottle blue, and I've wanted one for such a long time. And so that's what I started with when I started keeping again. So, and now I have 3 because I'm kind of biased. What is your favorite species? Green bottle blue, probably. I just think they're so pretty. I love their feeding response. I like that they're a little bit ornery, but I would say that my favorite family of tarantulas would be baboons. I love baboons. I think they're so cool. They're very, I don't know. There's something about them that I like. I think they're really pretty. The spots on the, abdomen, I think it kind of reminds me of one of those speckled horses. Does anyone know? That's kind of a weird thing to connect, but that's what it reminds me of, and I think that they're really pretty. What is your dream tarantula? I don't know. Every tarantula that I don't own. Pretty much. Seriously though, I remember seeing an HMAC for the first time when I was probably 8 years old. 7 or 8 years old. It was an adult. And that was the first time, I think I'd even seen an Old World, maybe, because the pet store that I buy from usually does New Worlds, but lately, the last year or so, they've done a lot more Old World. So then, that was the first time I'd ever seen an HMAC. And I, from then on, have always wanted one. And so I've got a group message that's going crazy on my phone. So ever since then I've wanted one. The pet store that I go to had some not too long ago, spiderlings, and I'm like, I'm just not prepared for that because they are kind of crazy. So as much as I want one, I'm not ready for one. So someday when I can have one, I would love to have one. How many do you own? Well, it kind of depends. So I have 27 at the moment. There's one at a pet store that I want to pick up today. If it's still there when I get there, I'm sure it will be. So that's an H. gigas. Really want them. So I have 27, that would make 28, but I've got a mature male who just hooked out and I am not interested in breeding him, so I'm going to send him off to somebody who is more qualified and will do a better job than I will. So that will bring me back down to 26 once he's off, but I'm not going to send him out for a couple weeks, I think. I'm waiting for it to warm up a little bit and I want to get some good meals in him, so. Introduce one tarantula. So I think I'm going to introduce to you a new one that I haven't even posted on Instagram or anything yet. I actually, after today, will have 3 new ones that no one knows about yet. So I did purchase, I need to, A is in DMI. I don't know how to say, is it, I'm gonna embarrass myself if I try. A is in DMI, I just bought one of them. I've been going back and forth with that and a Tarantula Lugardi. They've got both at the pet store. To be real, I'm probably gonna end up with a Lugardi as well. But I think that baboons are just so cool. So I just bought him and I will go ahead and introduce you to him because he's pretty darn cute. Okay guys, this is my new baboon. I think, you know what, actually I don't remember the common name for this guy, but you can see his little butt right up here. Obviously he's a baboon, so he's not really going to want to be out in the open, but that's my new introduction for you guys. That is my new, one of my new additions, so he's pretty cool. I'll see if I can get a shot from him from the side. He come in this little deli cup. Here. Oops, sorry buddy, I probably just scared you half to death, didn't I? You can see him right there. He is so darn cute. I think it's Augustophilus DMI. Hank, stop doing that. He gets scared of things that move. So there he is. There's a new addition. And then the next question is to feed a tarantula. So I will feed, let's feed Wednesday today. She's probably a hungry girl, so we'll feed her. That's my Acanthoscurria geniculata. Okay, I'm gonna feed her a dubia today. She's a little bit on the nervous side right now. Because Hank's walking around. I don't tongue feed. Ooh, good girl. 8th question, who is your favorite tarantula YouTuber? Dark Den. I think that's everyone. I think Dark Den is even Dark Den's favorite YouTuber. I don't know if that's true, but he's pretty awesome. I really like his channel. I would have to say though, Tom Moran is a close second. I love his husbandry videos. They're the best. That's when I'm looking for husbandry, that's who I turn to first. He's got a great channel. I really like it. Jeepers Creepers is another big one. Ray's a friend of mine, as I said in my card talk that I just posted. And he's got a great channel too. I love his enclosure builds. They're really good. Who else? I'm really enjoying Tattoo Highway too. I like that he shows a little bit of his like everyday life along with his tarantulas and snakes, and I can't have snakes, so to be able to see other people's snakes makes me very happy. I get really excited about that. And I love that he's teaching his daughter to love these animals too. I think that's cool because that's kind of what happened with me and why I'm here doing this video today. So yeah, that's just a few of my favorite channels. Gosh, there's so many good ones. Probably my all-time favorite, the first that I ever started watching was obviously Tarantula Guy 1976, is that what it is? Rob C. First tarantula videos I ever watched, and his feeding videos are just the best. I love that he says bam every time it strikes, and I love that. I don't know why it's so funny to me, but they're really enjoyable to watch. The next question is, do you own any other exotic pets? No, not really. I do have rabbits, which some people consider to be an exotic pet. I call that a small pet to me. And then I also have a Rottweiler who is not an exotic pet at all, but he's something else, that's for sure. So the 10th question is to answer the tag video, or the tag question, I'm sorry, from the video that I was tagged in. So Lars asked me a really great question, and his question was, what can we do? Well, the first question was, do you own any species that are endangered? And I believe the answer is no, not as far as I know. And then the follow-up question to that was, what can we do as keepers to get these species that are endangered back into the wild and repopulate those areas? And I think that is such an important thing to talk about, because like P. metallica, for example, those are endangered. They may even be critically endangered, and that's due to deforestation in the area that they live in. It's not due to the pet trade at all, but you know, we probably could help out. It would be a real shame if the only ones left in the world were in people's houses. I don't like the idea of that, and that's why I don't own any endangered species that I know of. It's very possible that I do have one that I don't know is endangered. That could be. I just can't feel good about knowing that I'm holding on to an animal in my house that could be living out in the wild, repopulating the area. So I think what we can do about that, I guess, is probably twofold. If you can prevent, it's actually illegal to buy a wild-caught specimen of an endangered species, but don't do that would be one thing. Another thing we could do is maybe find somebody over there that we can do some kind of shipment with, where we can breed here and then release them there. So we would have to find the proper laws and proper ways to do that, but I think that there's probably people out there who'd be willing to partner with the tarantula keeping community here in the US, and even in Europe that might be even easier, and repopulate those areas. So, but we would have to also work on the deforestation issue, which I don't know that we can do that from here. That might be something that has to be done locally. I'm not an expert, but that's just an idea that I have. So the next person that I'm tagging is Heavy Metal Arachnids. That's his channel. And the question I want to ask is, if you could tell yourself one thing as a beginner keeper or before you started keeping, what would that one thing be? I think what I would tell myself, I don't know. I guess when I was like 14, 15, and I bought that Versicolor, I think what I would tell myself is, you need to put more ventilation in there, because it didn't make it, because it was in a very wet enclosure, because that's how I was told to keep it. And I would do more research for sure if I could. I would do more research, and I would tell myself, make sure that you are adding lots of ventilation, because what was I thinking? But that's what I was told. I was a kid, and I really shouldn't have had her if I didn't even know how to properly care for her. But everybody makes mistakes, and now I do lots of research before I buy a new tarantula. Usually, sometimes we do all have those impulse buys, and then you do the research to figure out how to properly care for it when you get it home. But can you hear my dog snoring? So that's my question for you, is if you could tell yourself one thing, or ask yourself one thing, I guess, if you could tell yourself one thing before you started keeping, or as a beginner keeper, wow, that was really hard. If you could tell yourself one thing, what would that one thing be? I think that is a good question. I don't know. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I did promise that Hank would make a guest appearance in this video, so I'll see if I can get him to come over. And then I'm going to also run upstairs, film the one tarantula, feed the one tarantula and film that, and then I will add those in after this. I'm not sure why I'm telling you that, because it doesn't matter, because you're gonna see it inserted. So anyway, thanks so much for watching. Happy St. Patty's Day. Be safe. I'm not wearing any green, but we'll count this back behind me, my wall. We'll count my wall as my green today. So thanks so much for watching. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Be safe. Have fun. I'm going out to dinner with some of my family, so that'll be a good time. But I will see you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching. This is Hank. Say hi. internet. I was trying to take a nap and my mommy woke me up. Yeah, it's okay. Just say hi. He's like, Mom, leave me alone. I want to nap. I'm sorry, buddy. I won't wake you up again, okay? Love you so much. He's a sweet boy. So I know that someone's gonna say something about his collar. He pulls really, really hard, and we don't usually, I'm way too small of a person and he's too big of a boy to have him pulling me around when we walk him. So I know someone's gonna say something about that. It's okay for you to not like it, but this is how we keep him from pulling so badly when we walk him. So he's a good boy though, other than that, huh? Yeah, you're a good boy. You're not gonna be a star anytime soon, are you? That's okay, say bye. Happy Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Day. Bye, buddy.